Hello, what we're going to be covering in this video is the last part of lesson 2.9, and what it is gesture recognizers. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and opened up our common input controls application. So for each of the controls interact with gestures. Buttons and switches are configured to work with taps, sliders work with swipes, etc. A gesture is tied to a single view, but a view can have multiple gestures. For example, a switch responds to a tap, but the user can also swipe a switch left and right to turn it on and off. You can add your own gesture recognizers on top of any view you wish, from simple taps to complex pinches, long presses, and rotations. In this example, we're going to add a tap gesture recognizer on top of our view controller's view. So the first thing we need to do is we need to make sure that we've selected the view in our view controller scene, and then what we're going to do is we're going to search in our object library. We're going to go ahead and search on gesture. So there's plenty of different types of gestures that you can go ahead and actually select. What we're going to do is we are going to grab the tap gesture recognizer and drag it onto top of the view. So we're going to go ahead and drop it in, and as you can see, the gesture was identifier was added up on top here. So that's where you can actually find it. And if you look over to the left, you can find it underneath our actual view controller itself. So what we're going to do next, you will see the recognizer added to the document outline. So what we want to do is we're going to select the recognizer and open up the attributes. So if we go ahead and open that up, different gestures will contain a different list of properties. You can adjust the number of taps that the recognizer requires, such as a single or double tap, as well as the number of touches required to trigger any actions connected to the recognizer. In this example, we want to recognize a single tap using the single finger, so we're going to leave both values at 1. The next thing we need to do is we need to go into our assistant editor, and what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add an IB action. So I will go ahead and scroll on down to the bottom of my class, and I will go ahead, make sure I have my tap gesture selected. Either you could go ahead and select it up here, or you can go ahead and select it over there. So I'm going to go ahead and drag, and I'm going to drop this in, and what we're going to call it is we're going to call it respond to tap gesture. And then we will go ahead and click on connect. So what we're going to do next is we're going to add some code to it. So what we want to do is we're going to go ahead and set let location equal sender dot location, and then it will be in view. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and print our location. Okay, so we've added that in. Okay, so I think I know what I did. I actually forgot to specify what type it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and delete my IB action. So I will just go ahead and click on delete, and then I will go ahead and make sure that I go ahead and delete the respond to tap gesture here, so it's deleted out of both. And I am going to go ahead and re-add it. So let me go ahead and re-add that. Go ahead, add the outlet, and again, what we're going to call it is respond to tap gesture. And I forgot to change the type, so I'm going to go change the type to a UI tap gesture recognition and then hit enter. Okay, so now let me just go ahead, minimize some of these windows and get into my view controller, scroll on down to where I want to add the code. So we're going to have just let location equal sender. And if we click on dot and click on L, we do have a location method. So I will just go ahead and double click on that, and that'll be within our view. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and print that location. So wherever we tap on our screen for our app, it should give us the XY coordinates. So I'm going to go ahead and run this. And we will go ahead and wait till it starts up here. And what I'll do is I'll move it so we can actually see the coordinates when we actually tap on the screen. And it should be coming up here in a couple of seconds, hopefully. Okay, our application has finally came up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and tap on a few places. So as you can see, those coordinates get added, and if I go ahead and actually click on my switch, the coordinates do not get added since the switch will take precedence over where I'm tapping in the view. So if I click back on my switch to turn it back on, again, we don't see any coordinates there. If I go ahead and decrease my slider, again, we don't see anything over there. So you kind of get the picture that if a control occupies that location in the view, what'll happen is the tap will not get recognized, but if you tap anywhere on the screen where there is not a different control, you will actually see the coordinates that you tapped at. So this is all I wanted to cover for the rest of this video, so we will talk to you later.